Hi, my name is Pat DePillo. I'm the World Language Department Chair for grades 7 through 12 in the Falmouth Public Schools, and this is our third edition of Ciao Falmouth for the 2018-2019 academic school year. It's been a very hectic, busy year, especially since I had shoulder surgery and was out for 3.5 weeks in January somewhere, so I had some catching up to do. In my absence, a lot of things occurred. One of them is we now have a Spanish Honor Society, and 40 students from, I believe, from grade 10 also, juniors and seniors will be inducted into that Honor Society on May 6th here at Falmouth High School. I believe 6 p.m. in the evening, and I know it will be in the auditorium. I am sure parents and students will receive a lot more information since that is still a few weeks away. And while I'm at it, I might as well explain that two Spanish teachers, Pegeen Kerr and Bill Mock, are now in Spain on the exchange program with students. So they left, I believe, Friday evening. I know they left here midway through the day on Friday, and they will be in Spain for this week and next week. There was some question about it being Holy Week and things not being available or open, but I think they worked that all out, and I know they're staying in Madrid and then doing some traveling. So there's an Airbnb involved and hotel, etc. We wish them well, and I'm sure they're having a great time, and we want to see lots of pictures and things when they return. Moving right along, starting tomorrow, students in grades 10, 11, I'm not sure, no, the seniors, I believe in French, have either are in the midst of stamp testing or have completed it. Grade 12 Spanish students will be taking the stamp assessment when they return, the week after they return and into the beginning of May. You may recall from past programs that STAMP stands for the Standard Assessment of the Measurement for Proficiency. And it is our proficiency testing that enables a student to attain the seal of biliteracy. Now, since the commissioner has stipulated 2 levels, students must attain an intermediate high to attain the state seal of biliteracy, or an advanced low to attain the state seal of biliteracy with distinction. So that's a bit of a change. There still is the intermediate mid-level, but that's under the auspices of what's called the Language Opportunity Coalition. As well, the certificate of attainment, biliteracy attainment, comes under their jurisdiction, and that is reserved for grade 8, our grade 8 at Lawrence. And those students will be testing at the end of May and the beginning of June. On May 29th and 30th, and June 5th and 6th. So I will be proctoring the testing tomorrow and Wednesday and the week following April vacation and into early May. So we will see how students do this year. They have done very well in the past, and I've looked at data from 3 years now and see an upward trend, so I'm sure that will continue. Students who are in grade 12 testing that with that assessment will receive the emblems of the state seals on their transcripts and diplomas, and Mr. Kazarian in the guidance office will take care of that. It also has to be reported on the SIMS data, so Julie Payne will I will provide her with the names of students who have attained that distinction, and she'll report that with the SIMS data. Let me think. Let me talk about some language-related things that are a little bit I know I always say it's anything and everything to do with world language in Falmouth, but these things will have some impact aside from, having scheduled classes for teachers. Um, we, and I say we, in the state of Massachusetts, the Department of Education, Secondary and Elementary Education, will probably announce within the next month the person who has the applicant or the candidate who will serve as the World Language Coordinator for the state of Massachusetts. Currently, Massachusetts has no state supervisor or no World Language Coordinator. And what that means is that we have, except for MAFLA, which is the Massachusetts Foreign Language Association, we have no organization or association or vehicle that curates curriculum, oversees the state seal data, and thinks about, what to do with our world language frameworks, which are from 1999. And as they are accustomed to do, the Department of Ed has sent out a survey where teachers and language teachers, retired student teachers, those of us currently working, can vote for whether we want to update the 1999 frameworks or adapt the World Readiness Standards or just adopt the World Readiness Standards. We, I think, in the profession are opting for adopting the World Readiness Standards as they currently are. And we in MAFLA have been using them as a model since 2015. So it'll be interesting to see who this person is. And as I said, that person will oversee that process, oversee the seal, curate curriculum, and it'll be a great support for language teachers in the state who have had no current, well, from time to time, only sporadically there have been people in world language at the Department of Ed, but this is a position and we hope someday will be a state supervisor. So this person will work out of the OLA office, which is the Division for English Language Learners. I believe they had an onslaught of candidates for this position, and more than they have ever seen for anything else all over the country, because as everyone knows, Massachusetts is a leader in education. So I'm sure lots of people want to come here and get in on the ground floor of actually what's going on. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I am going to mention a little bit about MAFLA. I am on the board of directors, but there is a very good possibility I will be moving through the ranks to become conference chair, which means that our sole mission and vision and guiding principles revolve around providing outstanding world language teaching to teachers and thereby instruction to students. So it's something that I do now as a department chair, but it will be on a larger scale. The last thing I want to talk about, well, moving forward through May, at the end of May, I neglected to mention that the students who are taking the stamp testing will be, those who have met their proficiency benchmark will be recognized at our annual World Language Award ceremony on May 20th in the evening at 6:30 here at FHS. So the junior high has its separate award ceremony, which I believe is June 10th, and I believe that will also take place here in the evening. So that's a bit of a change, and it's a welcome change because at that time of year, it's kind of, the weather could be, it could be very warm and humid. So the auditorium in the high school is nicely air conditioned, and we welcome that. It's a lot also more comfortable seating, and I believe, the acoustics are probably better, etc. too. So, all in all, I guess and that's almost going to wrap up the year, except for I've mentioned what teachers are doing this summer, but I haven't said what I'm doing. After that stamp testing at the junior high the very next weekend. I, on Friday and Saturday, will be at Melrose High School for MOPI or OPI training. What that is modified oral proficiency interviewing. I believe there are 26 of us in Massachusetts who will be either trained as interviewers or participants. And there's a Spanish strand all by itself, and the other strand is for other world language educators. So it could be French teachers, Italian teachers, German teachers, or Russian or Portuguese or anything else that's taught. And that is to enable me to identify proficiency targets even better. And the interviewers, of course, can conduct interviews with students and actually rate them. And then in July, I'll be attending the summer PD with teachers here, both at junior high and at FHS. We are hoping to, teachers at junior high are, as I have said in the past, working on the exploratory curriculum, and teachers here will be attending a workshop with Rebecca Bluewolf, who's a middle school teacher in Wellesley, and she will talk about IPA construction and creating a community of target language learners in the classroom. After that, will be in Westfield, at Westfield State University, as I have been for the past 4 summers, for a week, attending the Proficiency Academy with Greg Duncan and Thomas Sauer and Leslie Gran and Greta Lundgaard, all of the consultants who are well known in the field of world language, who train teachers in recognizing proficiency, what to do with assessment, how to handle it, how to translate assessment into grading through feedback rubrics, etc. So I'm excited to, again, go up there with my world language colleagues and attend. So I guess I will be bidding you adieu for this academic year, and I will see you again sometime in the fall with more world language news and any updates. I probably will know who the world language coordinator is. I probably will know my role in MAFLA, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I'll say, ciao, Falmouth.